Hi, and welcome back to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where I'm going to be teaching you Algebra 1. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at more exponential and quadratic regressions. In exercises numbers 1 and 2, we looked at exponential regressions, and in this exercise, we're going to be looking at what a quadratic regression is. And it says, Elijah tracks the height of a rock compared to its horizontal distance after it was fired from a slingshot. The table below shows the data collected. Create a quadratic regression equation to represent the height of the rock, h of x, compared to its horizontal distance, x. Round all values to the nearest tenth. So we have this information over here, and as we remember from chapters 9 and 10 on quadratics, these values do look like a quadratic equation because they start by increasing, they stop increasing, they turn around and come back down. So a linear equation would not be useful to predict the height of the rock because this is going up and going down, and linear equations do not do that. Same with exponential equations. Exponential equations only increase or decrease. They don't do both. But a quadratic equation does increase and decrease, or decrease then increase. So we would be using a quadratic regression equation for an example such as this one. So the first thing that we are going to need is our graphing calculators. And once you have your graphing calculator, you want to go to Stat and Edit and clear out anything that you might have in List 1 and List 2. So go on over and clear everything out so that you're ready to enter your information. So your information is as follows. We're in our L1, we're going to put 1, 2.5, 4, 7, and 9. And then over in list 2, we're going to put 10, 20, 25, 22, and 10. And if you need a second or a minute to catch up right here, pause the video before I go on. All right, so now that we have our information entered into our list 1 and our list 2, we're going to go to Stat now, over to Calculate, and we're looking for something that might be a quadratic regression. And if you were thinking choice 5, then you are correct. So you could go down to choice 5 or just click on the 5, and that will be a quadratic regression. Quad regression, and we're going to just scroll on down to Calculate and hit Enter. When we do that, it gives us our standard form of a quadratic that we are familiar with from chapter 10 and 9, ax squared plus bx plus c, and we have an a, a b, and a c value. So we're just going to replace these numbers in our a, our b, and our c in the equation. So we're going to have, instead of y, we're going to have h of x equals, now to the nearest tenth, the a value is going to be negative 1.0. So we'll just have negative 1.0 x squared. Our b value is going to be to the nearest tenth, 10.0 plus 10.0x. And our c value to the nearest tenth is going to be 1.1 plus 1.1. So just using 5 pieces of information where we had the horizontal distance in feet from where that rock was fired from and the height above the ground it was at those marks, we were able to create an equation that very closely matches the path of that rock from the slingshot. So this is one very useful application of a quadratic regression equation. Just by knowing very easy metric values that you could find on your own, you can now create the quadratic equation and predict the height of the rock at any point in time, which is pretty cool. There's more that we could do, but this is all we're going to do in Algebra 1. If this video was helpful in order to create a quadratic regression equation, give this video a like or a thumbs up below. You're ready for exercise number 4 and the final exercise in this lesson. Good luck.